but you know I'm tribal. So let's check the Bible. I'm listening to the prodigal son. Daddy gon' get it till it's done. Get it in like B.I. Yeah, baby, like honey. And you know I'm ready to die, just like Hancock. Your half cocked like handcuffs. On a misdemeanor, stop and chained up like Pac. When dear mama dropping no cell, all eyes on me. Oh well, I met these wheels like Ishmael, spitting all these shark tails. They say my flow a little fishy, cause I swim with no scale. That I done came too far. No, I can't stop now, cause I done came too far. If you hating on me, stay right where you are. But you can't even touch me, cause I done stayed on me. Cause I done came too far. No, I can't stop now, cause I done came too far. If you hating on me, stay right where you are. But you can't even touch me, cause I done.
Seasons, greetings, and salutations, man. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. We in the building, man. You know, it's Wednesday, hump day. It's raining, thunderstorming, and all kinds of situations out here, man. So if the broadcast does get cut off, it's because there's a goddamn storm coming through this bitch. Yeah. So what's up, man? I appreciate y'all chiming in. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all feedback on social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, things of that nature. We had a great I don't know what happened the other day, probably about like 3 days ago. I was driving back down the road, and the cyber guys started showing love, and a lot of my reels and whatnot just took off. Last I looked at one of them, they was at 50,000. Went from 600 views. Now one's up to 50,000, another one 30,000, 10,000, 15, 20, 20. So yeah, shout out to y'all, man, for dealing with the messiness, man, and just giving y'all something to chew on. Now some things, I won't say a lot, some things I just throw out there just to get people talking, to see where their mind's at. Now it may be a random thought of mine, but at the same time, you know what I mean, that might not necessarily mean like that's what I stand on. I just be throwing out random thoughts that be in my head. At the end of the day, that's why it's messy. And if it ain't messy, it ain't me. I kind of challenge the norm when I kind of let things out of my head. They say everything shouldn't come out your mouth, everything on your brain shouldn't come out your tongue. But unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately for people hearing the information, but fortunately for me, that's how God made me. So it is what it is, and y'all can't complain to me, complain to God. I didn't ask to be made this way, but it's my DNA, it's my makeup, so it is what it is. We talking about the Iron Curtain. Right now, what I got going on, and from where I'm sitting, is the Iron Curtain. This is a space where I get to dictate, and my platform where I get to, showcase and do what I want to do, and say what I want to say, and within certain respects, and people, who fucking vibe with me, they get to see me do my thing and then chime in if anything is relevant. The Iron Curtain. Guess what? Check this out. What we're gonna do real fast, just because I'm so loved. For another brief break, this is brought to you by King Pope Kennels. King Pope Kennels, they create, produce badass American bullies, and they also fabricate custom stacking boxes and whelping boxes for you guys. They make it personal, easy, quick, and efficient to use and adjust. It doesn't pull out. You adjust the fly nuts on the side and slide it back. Stack your dog up. You know the law, stack up or shut up, man. Appreciate you guys. Continue watching the show, and always remember, if it ain't messy, it ain't me. Yeah, straight like that. So you guys get to enjoy me on my platform. I had a little technical difficulty I had to take care of. You guys get to enjoy me on my platform and see what I do. So again, behind the Iron Curtain is where I get to display and hide and challenge the viewers, but everybody wants to know what's the method behind the madness. And there's no special method. It's about being aware. It's about, being conscious. It's about, being uncomfortably comfortable, if that makes any kind of sense. Um, I'm uncomfortable in a lot of situations, believe it or not. Um, um, but I'm comfortable with trying to work through situations. Um, with that being said, uh, stuff runs, in my own brain. In my own brain, I'll stick to me at first. Over and over and over and over and over again. Again, my brain tends to fester on things. Sometimes to my detriment. So when the topic of hiding behind the Iron Curtain came up, they said, what's really in your mind? Like, where does this energy come from? Like, why has God blessed you with these type of abilities? I thrust myself sometimes into a public eye, which is ass backwards for a person that doesn't really like to be gathered around a lot of people at one point in time. That's an honest statement. I thrust myself. That's like me learning how to swim. I learned how to swim. I jumped in the pool, almost drowned. I don't know, countless amount of times, probably 4 or 5 times. One too many for me, and that's how I learned how to swim. So when I thrust myself in the midst of something, that's how I learn how to deal. I was talking to shout out to Caller Bullies. I was talking to Shirley Caller earlier today, and I told her, I said, I'm the guy who goes to McDonald's to work at McDonald's to figure out how they make their burger. No more, no less. I've seen it and it enticed me. I really don't want nobody to see me, trying this out, having this experience, but at the same time, I can maneuver on the inside of a situation to get the ingredients, remedies, and missing pieces to a situation, just to get a better understanding of it. I got a better understanding of water once I jumped into the middle of the swimming pool and fell to the bottom. I realized then you can't breathe. We weren't built in this body to breathe underwater, and I need to respect the water. With that being said, I've learned that, I have to have a certain respect for life. And within that respect, that we've learned respect for life, there's a lot of things that come along in our life, that challenges us, that makes us not want to respect life, that sometimes have us on a tendency that says, the infamous, why God, why am I here? So in discovering, I won't say discovering my purpose. I feel in my heart I've known my purpose for a very, 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 very long time. Now accomplishing that purpose is different. But fast forward to 30-ish some years, 20-ish some years, I have what they say in Taken, I have a certain amount of skill set, and have learned and been trained a certain amount of skill set that allows me to move the way I move. And I'm moving in front of you behind this iron curtain. So why do we hide from one another? Why is the Iron Curtain necessary? Why on the Wizard of Oz, this old, fetal, just a small, minute old man happened to be the wizard. Now he gave everybody this fluff. He gave everybody this. He went so his finesse game, the Wizard's game, the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard's game was so great that he finessed everybody that to come see him was worth the journey. These people went through hell to come see him because he said it's worth coming to see me. He gave such a value to him that it was worth coming to see him, to where, destined to be great. What's up, Auntie? He gave so much of a, he boasted up the situation so much that he made people pretty much damn near risk their life to come through to come see him. But when they finally came to see him and had all these questions for the grand old wizard and pulled back that iron curtain, they realized, shit, you just a man. You just like me. And it blew everybody's mind away. Now, mind you, we don't know if Dorothy tripped on acid. when the tornado came and the house was spinning and she ended up in another place. Um, but that lesson is the real trick in life, hiding behind the iron curtain. That's the true trick of life. This is the magician, the magical trick that is passed down to, undoubtedly, you know, from birth till you die. Make something look big and grandiose, but don't show them who you really are. You might be a coward. You might be fearful. You might have a lot of anxiety. You might be a super emotional person. You might be a person that has no feelings at all. You might be an empath. You might be a sympathetic person. You understand what I'm saying? But the life that we've learned from a child has shown us not to really display who you are, because that sets you up into a very vulnerable moment in life. And when we're vulnerable, we feel compromised. We feel basically exposed. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing something up for you guys. We feel embarrassed, basically. What does embarrassment mean? See it right here: shy, uncomfortable, ashamed, especially in a social situation. That's we feel embarrassed in them spaces. You know what I'm saying? We're trained, as child, if you have parents and they're not, well-to-do or in a, superior, financially stable environment. Actually, I'll go back, but hiding behind the iron curtain is basically like, what they say, fake it till you make it. But that's pretty much what is instilled from my parents, family pride and don't let everybody know your business, and we're gonna figure it out, as a family. We're gonna figure it out as a family. Don't let everyone know your business. We're gonna figure it out as a family. Don't let everyone know your business. That's some conflicting information. How are we gonna figure it out as a family, but we can't let everyone know our business? And I'm not the most statistical person, and maybe I should in the future. I'll bring more reference points and shit. But I can only imagine the amount of people, the percentage, I'll say 8 out of 10, that end up being maybe 9 out of 10, that end up being just like us, end up being in the same predicament with the same problem. My uncles and aunts, 12 kids. You know what I mean? That was that time of era. Somebody had 12 kids, somebody had 15 kids. And back then, if you didn't have a lot of kids, you won't work for goddamn. Oh, girl, your organs don't work right. Oh, you ain't no woman. You ain't got no child. Oh, you only got one kid. Now, you know what I'm saying? Whew, if you lucky if you see a family with 2 kids nowadays. It's the truth. So you come from these family sets and have these problems, but we're taught to hide behind the iron curtain. We're taught to get help, but don't let anyone know your business. Why do we hide? What's to hide from? Hiding gets us in trouble. When you're a kid, you do something bad. You find the kid in the corner. Like, wait. I done called you 3 times, player. Where you at? Oh, you hiding from me? Is something wrong? No, the kid, they have fear, they have anxiety, and they're embarrassed to say, what they did. And in a certain era of life, kids were disciplined, was and are disciplined, some less than prior to, but some need to be disciplined. You get beat for hiding and beat for not telling the truth of what the wrong you've done or how you feel. And then if you do tell how you feel, you get beat for that too, most of the time. But this is what gets ingrained into us, from a very young age, is basically to hide. Try to be all you can be, but hide while you do it. I need you to go to school and act like everything is normal, but get the best grades you can. I need you to go to work with a great stellar attitude and not put the burden or show on your body language the burden of you feeling some kind of way. and God forbid, again, you be an emotional person or a person, just a regular logical person who says, hey, I have an issue. I need to get this data out to another computer, another processing center, if you will, to go ahead and see what kind of calculation they come up giving this information. If this processor cannot give me back what I need in my computer transfer of information to figure out this problem, this processor evidently hasn't recorded this experience yet. So there lies the problem. Now a processor, a person, you've got the one person in your business, so to speak, and giving them information, but they're not able to help you. So now you have to go to someone else. So now there's two people in your business, and this might be all while you're at work. This might be all while you're at school, and it might be while you're at church, and things start to turn into what they call the gossip column. Man, you're just putting all the business out there. Well, how the hell else are we supposed to figure it out? Right? Truth be told, if you don't put someone in your business, how are we supposed to figure it out? Now, the iron curtain gets a little thicker and a little stronger, depending on your situation as an adult. A child doesn't really understand in the depths of when a person is searching for information. You have to go through different processes, different people, different thought patterns, so your business is out there. But as an adult, if you're going through a situation, financial straits, or emotional problem, religious problems you're dealing with. I go back to, sexual traumas, drug abuse, things of that nature. And as an adult, whether it be with yourself personally, whether it be you and your relationship, whether it be with you and your relationship with your child, whether it be you and your parent, you and a friend, a sibling, as an adult, it's in a sense risky enough to transfer the information, but the person on the other side of information who's not in the conversation, of course may, once they get wind of something, may feel, highly embarrassed or highly angered at a situation and say, how dare you share my information, our business, our conversation with somebody else. Again, that goes back to as a child, we're taught, don't you go. So now you're an adult and, you're going through the same problems. So why do we hide? Why do we set our goals in life? Why do we hide? We set our different goals in life out of aspirations, and my common denominator is aspirations. A lot of aspirations come from, things that you feel like you were lacking in for the most sense. If you weren't lacking the things that you want to maintain, the rich, they say I have aspirations to run my father or mother's company, or aspirations to be a rocket scientist, make $2 million a year, this, that, and the third. But the why, the why, and once we meet these goals, accomplishments and things like that, why do we hide behind people? Why can't the geek be the geek? Why can't why can't the super high spirited, energized person be the super high energized person? No, you gotta have some swag. You gotta have some, you gotta be cool. You gotta, you gotta, this is how, in the hip hop world or whatever, if you don't got the bling and you don't have the crew with you, if you don't have the car, the look, or if you ain't selling drugs or something like that, you the odd man out. You know what I mean? If you a girl and you ain't, wearing the tight fitting outfits and you ain't going out, you ain't in the mix with everybody, you ain't out the clubs, you ain't, you're the odd man out, so that, so we put ourselves in certain positions and things to have a level of acceptance, from people, but why? We go through our lifespan, we go through what's going on, Reynard? We go through our lifespan hiding from people. And then in the shadows, we go and be who we really are in these private clubs and private groups. And, and then, if those things are, exposed or whatever, then our world as we know it falls apart. Oh, I didn't want everybody to know I was a freak. Oh, I ain't never want everybody to know I was an alcoholic. Oh, I didn't want everybody to know I was a cokehead. Oh, I ain't want everybody to know I was a thief. Damn, I ain't want everybody to know I like killing people at night. You know what I mean? That embarrassment creeps in because society has taught us not to speak through our problems. If you got a problem with killing people, thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying? Those are things, but you know we're scared of doing that for, again, lack of for, not for lack, but for, you know, embarrassment, or morally, you know, breaking a code that's pretty much going to get us, you know, in a jam in today's society. Where we at? There we go. But you know, at the end of the day, we all gonna be judged. No one likes judgment. No one likes ridicule. Again, no one likes embarrassment. But you know, it's all part of the human emotion. There's some things we can't escape, but we're willing to go through, you know, hell and high water to protect, you know, what we feel is our most intimate human emotions that we feel no one else should know who we are. You know, they say everyone should have their own kind of secrets. Well, they say in a relationship, everyone should still have their own private secrets and things like that. Salute hard life and good life and hard hustle, man. Healthy life and hard hustle. You know, but we're in a situation where we hide. You know, we feel embarrassed, and it says right there, you know, in the good old book, you know, 7 deadly sins. You know, 6 things God, Lord doth hate, and 7 are abomination unto Him: proud look, lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, murderer, a heart that devises wicked imaginations. That would be me. Feet that be swift and running to mischief. In a certain headspace, that would be me. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. I don't try to purposely sow discord per se, but I guess that would kind of go into a situation of running quick to run to mischief. We're very mischievous creatures. We're very inquisitive creatures. And especially in today's society, they have given us avenue after avenue to try to pique our interest and pique our inquisitions and stuff like that. Now, with the technology, we normally don't validate the information. We automatically go ahead and take the first thing that comes to us. But we're inquisitive people. Again, unfortunately, well, I won't say unfortunately. Fortunately, you know, again, some of those sins and moralities that are broken that lead to embarrassment or things, you know, like, you know, freaking pedophiles and things like that. You know, people sex trafficking and you know what I mean. I'd be embarrassed about things of that nature. You know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, but you know, people who watch porn is one thing, but now they got so many goddamn categories. The question would be, well, what kind of porn do you watch? You know what I mean? And if you were to click on certain people's screens and browsers, they would be highly embarrassed to know, you know, that they like watching people with their thumb up their butt. But you know, it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, if it ain't me, say it ain't me. Sidebar. So it's we hide ourselves from our kids. We hide ourselves from our partners, portions of ourselves. You know, we say we hide ourselves from, you know, say you're in a chess club. Okay, you know me for my mind and my chess moves, but I don't want you to know how my chess moves derived. I learned this in the slums somewhere on the corner, raised in a trap house, a drug house, crack house. I didn't have no real mom or dad, but the guy who ran the crack house knew my dad real well, so he gave me a place to lay my head, and that's how I started learning to play chess. And now here I am, you know, one of the world's best chess players. Those, you know, what I mean, those are I don't know if that scenario is real, but stories, you know, of hip hop or artistry. If you're an artist or an actor, what's the dude from Amistad? I can't remember his name no more right now, but you know, he was, you know, once homeless on the street, this, that, and the third. Jamin Hutsu, yeah, he got that baby by Baby Fat, yeah. Russell, Old boy Run DMC, Russell Simmons' old lady. Yeah. So, but he was homeless. Got the Amistad rolling. Boom. Years later, he got a baby with Russell Simmons' old lady. Who else? Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry tells he tells a story of him being homeless and working on his craft and things like that, knowing that he had a vision. But in between that, before he told the world his story, everybody didn't know, and I'm sure he wasn't proud to run out and say, "Hey, I'm a homeless guy and trying to make it, and I'm trying to project to you with the clothes that I had to borrow or the money I had to beg for to go ahead and go to Goodwill and get some clothes just to come and make myself look together to bring you a script to say, hey, respect my mind." You know what I mean? That's the world we live in. We can't, honestly, I can't come to you with the same energy to those same people at a Warner Brothers studio, because everyone's told me, man, you're a great writer, this and that and the third. I ended up homeless or whatever the case may be, and I'm still out there writing. Whatever shelter I'm in, I'm writing. If I'm in a taxi cab, I'm in the alley. If I'm doing some pursuit of happiness shit, if I'm sleeping in the bathroom somewhere, I'm writing. I can't come in my funky self and my holes and my clothes to the studio producer. Hell, I probably won't even get through the goddamn gate to get to the studio producer to say, hey, I have a beautiful mind. I have a serious craft, and thousands of people can vouch for me. But no, that's not good enough. You have to look a part and pretend to be a part to get into the door. And once you're in the door, you now have to play your part. Play your part, stick to the script. Meaning be the guy or young lady I saw that somehow put together. I don't want to know how you put it together. Just keep being that person that put it together. Be that person that has that suit every day. Be that person that's clean shaved every day, because this will validate you to me to say, hey, I can now respect this person. You got strippers out there that hit the stripping pole. I don't know if y'all watch P-Valley. I sneak a peek with it with my old lady and shit, but they got some twisted shit on it. But it's today's world. Like, I watch porn, but I don't watch all porn. So if y'all into that other shit, so be it. But like a stripper, a stripper can't come in and just say, hey, I've been studying real estate in her stripper clothes, and which brings her lots of money, which has people giving her gifts hand over fist and say, man, I put together this great business plan. I passed my real estate courses, and you walk over to Century 21 in some fucking 15-inch heels and a G-string with some pasties on your titties and say, hey, I wrote together this great plan. The numbers are solid. I ran it through my accountant. Yes, I have an accountant. I ran it through my lawyer. It's ironclad. I need you guys to go ahead and give me, this loan, for $50,000 or $100,000, so I can open up this hair salon school or a barber shop. They're gonna look at it like, ho. That's all they gonna say. Just like if a Tyler Perry or Jamin Hudson walked up trying to get an acting job while they were homeless and didn't have the proper attire, they're gonna be like, man, get your bummy ass up out of here. Everybody has to play the role, fill the bill, and then we begin to hide. And once we've done that consecutively for so long, that starts to be a great weight and detriment on our lives. And to me, that's where the mental health fuckery really gets to weighing in. Who am I? Why did I want to be here? And the why and your purpose and your why is normally simple, to be honest with you. I'm willing to stand on that in a super strong opinion, maybe even a fact. But I can say I came here like now, again, like I said, to speak to people, but I could tell you that, as an abused child, or abused by my stepfather, or felt left and estranged by my dad, or my cousins goddamn making me do god awful stuff, as a little young guy, or me getting into certain things as I got older in life, me being in a rape case and this, that, and the third. This now brings me to the stage of it's messy. Me being in war, me being privy to, so many things in life. This now brings my pictorial to you. It's messy. You know what I mean? Now I couldn't have said it's messy and make it's messy work for me had I not gone through those things. But I went through, and I appreciate God, for allowing me to get through. And I feel like if you get through, you have a testimony to give to someone coming behind you, because just like I said before, if you start out in a family as a child, we can work this out as a family, but don't tell nobody. Odds are there's somebody else going through it with you. I mean, somebody going through it in the same capacity and afraid, to share that information. And if these separate nucleuses happen to make it through, there's always going to be somebody coming behind for you to give wisdom to if you make it through. So again, the platform I'm on is I won't say, it's been because of ultimate joy. It's been because of ultimate pain in my head and heart. I've had great joys in life, most definitely. But things that weigh on me sometimes more than often is, why hide? Why hide? Why not share who you are? When you're in a relationship, why not be able to say who you really and show who you really, really are when you first meet somebody? You know what I mean? We get in these relationships and, everyone smile and wave. Smile and wave. Would you like to go to dinner? Ooh, you look so beautiful. Hey, would you like to meet my mom? Oh, she loves you. Hey, would you like to go ride in my car? Oh, it's lovely. Hey, would you like to go out to lunch in my nice job? You do all that. Oh my God, girl. Oh my God, he makes me so. Oh my God, and you get into a relationship, and whether you get married or not, once you get into a serious relationship, that means some time has been spent. In most situations, there's different scales, whether you in the lower class, middle class, or upper class, but to scale, it's pretty much the same shit. You know what I mean? More money, more problems. That's the only difference. But you've been spending time, you've been comfortable with the person, and all of a sudden, the real you starts leaking out. The real you. And there comes along, some judgments. There comes along some forms of embarrassments. There comes along some forms of, anxieties. Now, we can have a relationships, again, whether it be at work, whether it be at church, whatever the case may be. But truth be told, we get to show who we are, and really, I'll say, because that's what the family says. So if you're in a relationship that's now, quote unquote, hopefully, someone who you would consider as your family, you start seeing the ugly. You start seeing the things that are kind of unsavory. And then depending how much weight, how far you are in a relationship, some people may be able to retract and re-hide, or some people say, shit, it's out. We got to play it how it go now. And again, that goes again with kids. Parents hide behind their kids sometimes. Give me 2 seconds, 3 seconds, because I love y'all just like that. This last break is brought. Hey guys, this break is brought to you by Get More Graphics. They take care of all our vinyl banners, stickers, car magnets. They do our embroidery, special occasions, birthdays, you name it. They got what you need, man. Just click the link below. I said click the link. That's that Doja. Check out the link below and go holler at them, man. They'll take good care of you. Continue watching the show, and just remember, if it ain't messy, it ain't me. Show you right, Ray. Parents, hide behind their kids. They don't want their kids to know who they are, what they're into, because, they say that's not a child's place to know who I am. I'm an adult. I've earned the right to be here. I pay my own bills. I do what I do. I maintain my home to the best of my ability. Fuck what you say. You don't need to know who I really am. And if there's that inner attitude of who I really am, probably they got some other shit going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? We hide. We hide so much to where, They say everyone needs to go to a counselor. Everyone needs to uh uh have a person, a confidant, that you can, release to at least, in a perfect world once a week, where you could say the things out loud in this raw entirety that you couldn't say to your partner, or that you couldn't say to your boss, or that you couldn't say to your pastor, or that you couldn't say to your mom, or that you couldn't say to your dad, your brother, sister, cousin, auntie, and uncle, your doctor. They say it's good to go to have a counselor once a week to be able to go ahead, get your hour out and release yourself of the things that you really wanted to say to people. But since we were trained to hide behind this iron curtain, and make ourselves look well to do, and then go back in front of them people and say, everything is okay. I just unleashed and dumped how I really feel about you to someone else. And God damn it, it felt great. Would you like to go get some coffee? Like that won't, if you would say that out loud in front of a person who you just talked about to someone else, that normally probably wouldn't go over too well. But again, it's fact, it's a part of life, right? We hide, so you have to have someone to talk to. You have to have someone to trust, or hopefully you have to hopefully find someone that will keep your information in confidence. But we know that's a thin line. Me, I'm the kind of person, it takes me a while to repeat things, but if and when I do, for the most part, unless I'm in a blind rage fit, which, yeah, but for the most part, it's normally to lock in a pertinent point that I or we, whoever the person is having in the conversation, lock in, to where we're trying to drive home as far as a resolution. So for the most part, if I share something intimate, it's damn sure for a resolution. I'm gonna say 100%, because most people, when you say things out of spite, it's because you're angry, you're upset, and you're in an uncontrollable state, and you just want to lash out. But you're still looking for help at the end of the day, because you're still letting people know your business, right? If I say, oh, fuck that nigga, da 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 da, he ain't shit, whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop, and you just, everybody like, shh, girl, you goddamn telling your business. But really, as far as you and yourself is concerned, you're really, you're saying, hey, help me through this problem. Hey, what the fuck is wrong with me? Hey, what the fuck is wrong with him? Hey, what the fuck is wrong with how I was raised, how he was raised? We got a lot of questions out when we let out, a little bit of information. But that information could be detrimental to us and who we are as a person, and our character that we try to present to people, to say that we're okay. I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the day, again, this platform is for me, just like if I were to write a song when I was rapping, or if I'm writing, for the most part, I pose questions and topics that's on my heart. Some of it just be some topics that, are out in the world today, some things, current topics that's going on, that I just want to hear people's opinion on my platform, period. But, again, my purpose has definitely been shown to me years and years, but the steps in between getting to that purpose is a motherfucker. The steps in between me putting on this hat and my clothes that I hide behind, or me being in this house studio set that I hide behind, me being inside a car that I drive that I hide behind. I think that's why the ones with the ceiling missing and all that shit is so, was so popular. It's like, oh, take away more car, just be more free. Because you're more free when you're out in the open, truth be told. You're more free when you're exposed. Whether you believe in the Garden of Eden story or whatever, I'll use it for an example, for all intents and purposes. They say Adam and Eve walked through the Garden of Eden naked and free. Walk with God, talk with God, juices and berries, rode horses. Can y'all imagine Eve riding that goddamn horse butt naked? Adam on the back of that. That's probably one cool for a dude to ride in the back too. See, dudes don't like to ride in the back of a motorcycle, but I ride on the back of my lady butt naked on a horse. Yeah, ride a horse while you riding a horse. Stallion. If it ain't messy, it ain't me. But we as far as the story, we were naked and we walked free. Once certain things were done, sins were done and committed, as far as the stories go, there was some embarrassment, some shyness, some, shock factor of, I think I went against the rules. I think I I broke a law. I think I did something wrong, and now I need to hide. And as the story goes in the Bible, God saw fit to say, hey, now I'm going to cover you up with this. You need to hide your loins behind this and wear these clothes and things of that nature. And then, went from, the pictorial of the leaves, the little palm tree leaves over Eve titties and over that goddamn poom poom. And, Adam got a coconut leaf, around his balls, and that was the first bathing suit and swim trunks, right? But it got more progressive as time, as far as the stories go, as time went on, with more clothing, and things like that. But things became, as we progressed as people, we made more of an intricate platform to hide who we really are. I don't know that there's some people that say as far as Adam and Eve, Adam was at fault because he left Eve. And my cousin was on here. Shout out to Blue, man. If my cousin was on here right now, he said, his depiction is Adam left Eve. And I guess many other people say Adam left Eve. And that's why she was able to be ran astray, ran game on. So it's basically saying, men, if you ain't on top of your old ladies and over them all the time, you're leaving them susceptible to be ran game on. If they out, late at night or whatever, doing whatever they do, you're leaving them susceptible to have, different people try them and have you and your unit in an exposed format. If the church is closed and you the dude working with Deaconess Wells over there and only y'all two there late after night cleaning the church while everybody gone, and you keep staying late and late after night, you're exposing yourself to certain things. We put ourselves in predicaments that, we feel like we need to hide for sake of exposure, and if I feel like you feel like you have to hide for being exposed about something, then you feel like you're doing something wrong. You have to ask yourself, am I doing something wrong? Why am I doing something wrong? Is it really wrong? It's not wrong to me. It might just be wrong to that person. I don't really morally feel wrong in what I'm doing, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, whether it be a doctor. And for those of you doctors, I hope a doctor's working for doing malpractice and shit. Like if somebody called for, stole some goddamn gloves, you need to be fired, goddamn it. No, but, we hide, man. We get into these high level positions. We getting, we try to progress in life and hide who, we really are, because we feel like we're going to be judged. And I'm the kind of person that, I don't think I mind being judged. I don't. I've always been that character, that kid, that person who screams shit from the mountaintops, as far as I can remember. My mom would say sometimes I used to embarrass her. You know what I mean? My mom would all say at points in time, she would say, Gemma, you're my humbler. And in that context, she said, you always seem to remind me of where I come from. You know what I mean? I was in the military when and again, back to me and my build behind this curtain, like when the way I was exposed to life, it was like, I believed the dream, but I found the dream falsities, the pinholes in the dream early. So I got to scrutinize what I saw early. I got to scrutinize family. I got to scrutinize love. I got to scrutinize parents. I got to scrutinize going to college, a career. I got to scrutinize the military and how that works. I got to scrutinize relationships. I got to scrutinize my children. I got to scrutinize me. You know what I mean? So I'm the kid who, once I see something, I scream that shit from the fucking mountaintops. And if I can't, or I'm in a situation where I don't, it drives me fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And if a person like me, it drives me crazy, and all I knew how to do is blurt it out or get it off my chest in the raw form, I seem a little aggressive to people. I seem a little, up in arms. If I display myself and just say what's on my mind in the raw form of how I feel like saying it and stuff. But, that's offensive to some people because, again, we were, taught to hide. And now I'm not saying it as far as, because you got to, take what you give. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to take, the same kind of energy you give, but at the same time, I'm like, overall, this is the world we live in. I met people at a dog show. I'm in the American Bullies. And you meet people through escapes, a club, a bike club, a car club, a dog shows, fucking what old women do, knitting and cross stitching and shit like that. Graphic art or gaming. All the kids now, they on these video game teams. You can get paid for being a video gamer now, a video vlogger. But we meet them in that space to entertain something, or to have an outlet to our normal lives. And then, God forbid, that outlet becomes an addictive outlet that now leads to you trying to escape or run from your normal life or your problems that you pretty much left behind. We're hiding and we're running. We're hiding and we're running because we can't say, baby, I don't like your motherfucking bacon and eggs. What the fuck you mean you don't like my bacon? I fucking hate your bacon and eggs. And she gonna cut to one nigga. I don't like your motherfucking the way you wear your tie, motherfucker. Da 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 da. In most cases, we can't come from behind the iron curtain and share information because it's not normally unless we add another person in our business, a third party, an objective third party to moderate the situation, no matter what realm you're in. Again, it covers all bases. A relationship, well, it's a different kind of relationship, whether it's a relationship within your home as far as your partner, or a relationship with your boss, or again, the most important, your boss, your pastor, your mom, things like that. We can't have those conversations to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable about such and such. Hey, I don't like such and such. Hey, it's not even a like such and such about that person. Telling, hey, this is just how I feel about such. It ain't gotta be about them. I feel like boom, 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 and your boom, boom, boom might be like boom to them people sometimes. Like, damn, that's how you was feeling about such and such. Like, yeah, that's how I feel, and I really wanted to say that out loud, but I didn't really want to go to a doctor's consultation, my regular doctor, to have the meeting set out to meet, my potential psychologist, psychiatrist, another 3 weeks out, so I can finally sit down and get that one problem off my fucking chest, that one thought, and pay these motherfuckers copay over here and a copay over here, just to finally say in a safe place and an objective person, this was really on my chest and a thought I was having fucking 30 days ago, and no one understands me how I feel. And if they do, they really don't understand me because they don't understand me. Doc, what do you think? Well, I tell you what, I want to thank you for being strong and having courage for coming in here and be open with me and share. It's not easy for a lot of people to come in here. They think we're quacks, and, you think coming to a quack, I'm crazy, but you're not crazy. You're just normal. You're a person with bottled up emotions, and we have to project ourselves in this crazy world, But tell me, so, what's on your mind? How's your life? Are you in a relationship? And they start picking your head and all for some simple ass shit. You got to get to know a motherfucker to dump some shit off from, from a person that you may know and can't have a conversation with them. That's the conundrum when it comes to mental health and talking to counselors versus talking to the people you have issues with, and being able to ask. You can't tell your boss like, yo, hey, how you doing? Mr. Robinson, how you doing, Mr. Robinson? Hey, I was just talking to Kaleem, and I was talking to Maisha over there. We didn't pretty much like the plan that you had at the meeting last week. It lacked a lot of information or a lot of pinholes in it. We could have saved probably about $10,000 more if you would have did such and such, but it looked like you were kind of being a pompous asshole. I'm not being loud. I'm just kind of being where I need to be with you, but it's kind of like you took a little pompousness to your position right now, and you didn't really want to listen to the team. It seemed like you wanted to be all self-inclusive and get all the shine and not give any credit to the rest of your department. So with that, we end up falling below the ceiling, and we didn't meet the standards. So I just want to share with you that was on my mind. But, outside the office, I appreciate you as a guy and as a man. You're a great father and a great softball coach. I enjoyed last week's game, man. You're a one hell of a pitcher. But here, I think you're a simp, basically. And that's how I'm feeling. Deal with it how you may. Take the information, food for thought. But we're going to go back to work, and we're going to patiently await your next orders because we're your subordinates. Motherfucker, you get fired so goddamn fast. They be like, man, if you don't get the fuck up out of here with that dumbass shit, you insubordinate ass. You know what I had to do to get here? You don't motherfucking tell me what to goddamn do, right? That's what happens if the person, if it's this kind of conversation, you don't know what I had to motherfucking do to get here, the ass I had to kiss, I had to go to goddamn school. That's like going back to Tyler Perry and John Mahansu. You don't want to hear I slept on the streets and had to dig out the trash can to eat food and blah, 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 just to finally get money together, get a suit from the Goodwill to come in front of you to give you my script or to go ahead and do a whatever they call it when you're trying out for a part and shit like that. Do a rehearsal when you're trying out for a part. Nobody wants to hear that. Motherfucker, you know what I had to do to get here? No, we don't. I'm saying in this time and space, I feel like you dropped the ball. You're not a great leader right now, and your team is suffering from it. And I just wanted to let you know how the team felt in case you wanted to correct that. No harm, no foul. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to do my 8 hours today, and I want my paycheck. It don't normally go down like that because we've been trained to deal with it in a certain way. Now the balls, he could have took it. Mr. Robinson could have been like, damn, thank you, Maish and whatever. I said the other dude's name. Hey, man, that's you're right. To be honest, I thought about it last night. I was talking to the old lady and I was like, babe, I really think I dropped the ball yesterday and let the team down, ultimately the company down, because I could have really listened to Maish and Jamal over there. And I think if you listen to their plan, we would have, hit where we were trying to hit the envelope, where we were trying to go, and probably save the company another $10,000. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and share that with the team and be honest with them and say, no, motherfucker, no, you get to appreciate you, man. Get out of my office and shit. You can't get nobody no credit. You can't say, hey, you challenged my thought process. Hey, you challenged my perspective. Hey, I didn't know that bothered you. Hey, I didn't know, I gave off that kind of energy. Hey, I didn't know this was important to you as a team member. Hey, you know what I mean? We don't go through those ranks. We hide. Again, we meet people in the bully world. We bring these dogs in. Everybody look at the dog. As you all know, we know most of the dog's name more so than we know the people's name. A lot of people know me off of social media, and I know a lot of y'all on social media, but my brain goes blank when I see the goddamn dog. And out of my almost 4,000 some goddamn friends, 200 to 300 on social media, or followers they call it now on social media, and now we're in each other's physical midst. It's kind of hard to remember everybody, but it was the dog that brought us together, so we're focused on the dog talk and dog conversation, but at certain times when you get in a repetitive meeting space with people, and sometimes when you get comfortable with people, and God forbid sometimes if people were to invite you over to their home resting space and have a dinner and open up in conversation and share who they are, some things start to spill out, and you start to see some things. You might see a motherfucker over there cussing at their kids in their home. Salute, hard life. Not hard life, healthy life, hard hustle. You might see somebody cussing out their kids and whatever, and be like, girl, I thought I was the only one, nigga. I thought I was the only one. Yeah, take your motherfucking ass upstairs. Yeah, he need to know. Shit ain't sweet here. Again, then you start to pull and identify with certain things that kind of feel like you normalize yourself. And you're like, oh, whew, I'm not the only one. Oh, someone else is just like me. But they look well together. I mean, they have a decent house, or if it's not a big house in a small city, at least it's clean and whoop-de-whoop. Oh, I think I could bring my kids around. Oh, I think I can share information with them, and, so on and so forth. And we get to display who we really are. And then once we display who we really are, and, in a comfortable format where we feel like it's a comfortable, secure, no one else is looking, listening, watching conversation, that brings bonds. And then, you basically start your own little club. Hey, my nigga, I ain't know that's what you was into. Girl, I ain't know that's what you was into. Girl, we should go out. My nigga, we should go out. You know what I mean? It turns into them situations, and you get the goddamn in them little dark corners and them spots to where you're displaying things you wouldn't normally display out of embarrassment. What if you really displayed who you were in the dark and the light? They say everything in the darkness shall come to light. And I found that to be severely true in my life. There hasn't been too much, well, thank God. Well, anyway, I've been exposed on a lot of things in my life. You know what I mean? From, my raising in my childhood, to my marriage, to my relationship with my kids. Um, at one point, my church family. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting biblical with y'all niggas today, and y'all people. I'm going down in the ranks because we all should be judged. You know what I'm saying? We all when the book is open, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. I'm starting over. That sound powerful. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which was the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written into the books according to their works. God damn it! What it's saying is we all gonna be judged. So if we all gonna be judged, and we hiding shit. Wouldn't life be simpler if we won't hide? We didn't have to hide. Wouldn't it be simpler if men didn't have to? Because they got alpha male, beta, sigma, omega males, yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. I mean, it's a pecking order and everything. If you got a pack of dogs, a bunch of male dogs from different litters, whatever the case may be, eventually there's going to be a fight between them dogs because the laws of nature say that, there has to be an order. But we have to project ourselves to society a certain way. We have to project ourselves to women a certain way. Definitely because depending on what you want to do, if you're just trying to fuck a lady, you're going to present yourself a certain way. Knowing you ain't finna fuck with them no more, or if you're trying to build a relationship with them and see yourself as a family man wanting to have kids, you're gonna project yourself a certain way, at least to have the kids. But you don't really know if you're gonna be a great father. You don't really know if you're gonna be you hope that you have prepared enough for the situation. I hope that you have prepared yourself and set yourself up in the best situations to be a good father or be a good partner for whoever you're in a relationship with. But, we don't know until it happens. But once it happens, the true you starts showing up. Once I jumped into the pool, the true me started showing up if I knew how to swim or not. And it looked like, basically, I didn't know how to goddamn swim. When the time came, to go to basic training in the Army, and I was prepared with kind words, but I really wasn't in the mental space to go to the military at the time. You know what I mean? As far as I was concerned, you know what I mean? But I definitely, shout out to my mom and pop. It was a last ditch effort to help me do something potentially positive with my life, because I wasn't doing nothing positive, at the time, running with the wrong crowd, because I was hiding behind the Iron Curtain. The things you do behind the Iron Curtain, turns into a different kind of monsters and stuff. So, so to speak. But, other than that, again, I thrusted myself into some situations, whatever. So, but if and when you get through them situations, you start to realize that, damn, that wasn't really me. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I shouldn't have been involved in that situation. Damn, I shouldn't have been here that night. Damn, I shouldn't have stayed in a relationship with this person. Damn, I shouldn't have stayed at this job so long. Once you get in the mix, but it's hard for us to differentiate because we so trained on trying to hide. When you so trained on trying to hide, man, you do the dumbest shit when you're trying to hide who you really are. The members of a church come to a pastor when they have their altar calls, or the Catholic Church, their confessionals. They tell the rabbi who they really are. They tell the priest who they really are. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. What have you done, my child? Shit, 2 thumbs up the butt this week. I didn't mean it, but they was looking pretty today. Oh, my son, my daughter, go ahead and do 10 Hail Mary Our Fathers and repent of your sins, yada, yada, yada. Hey, Pastor, what happened, man? I went ahead and spent fucking $5,000 on coke this weekend, Pastor. I'm at the altar crying because you said, you said God giveth and God taketh away. God gave me $5,000 and I went down to the trap spot and I saw some bad bitches outside that night and I was feeling good. I was mad at the old lady, and goddamn normally I just buy me a little 8-ball, but tonight I felt like get me a goddamn quarter bird out this bitch and went stupid out this motherfucker. Things like that happen when you get caught up when you're trying to hide who you really are. Scenarios are comical, but they're true. Again, I've been sometimes I give a rough situation, but I've seen a many of things in my lifetime, and as I'm sure you guys have. That's why, I connect and say the things I say the way I say it, because I'm sure we connect on different different wavelengths, and some that are very unsavory. But you can't say, hey, I did such and such and such and such, or I was with such and such and such and such, or we did such and such and such and such, because that shit'll put you and bury you in prison or some shit. That shit'll get you excommunicated from your family. That shit'll get you a divorce. That shit'll get you a breakup. That shit'll get you fired. You know what I mean? All the fucking above. That shit will break the relationship with your kids. Like, they knew such and such. But that's because I'm going to stand up on that. That's how we've been conditioned. I can't say that. That's too ugly. It's too messy for me to go ahead and say this is what I really like. I can't say why I like it. I was born this fucking way. When people talk about homosexuality or being a lesbian or whatever the case, yo, shout out to the old lady, man, my underboss. I swear to God, homosexual. I just thought homosexual was just about dudes, but homo means you like one sex, so a homo could be a female or a male. But shout out to my cousin. My cousin, when he allowed me into his world to ask some intimate questions. I was like, he's a homosexual, and I was like, he's very visible, so it's not a secret. But I was like, yo, cause like, was you touched? Was you violated or something? He said, and he explained. He was like, nah, I felt like this when I was this years old, and I started doing this, and I knew back, at that age and stuff like that, and hearing that, at our, older age, more concurrent age, and flashing back to when we were teenagers, I'm like, damn. But you see how society has made us hide behind the iron curtain. I can't tell you that I'm gay. I can't tell you that I like women. I can't tell you that I like men. I can't tell you because it's not the norm. It's not accepted. I can't tell you that I'm an angry person. I can't tell you that I'm an abusive husband. I can't tell you that I'm an abusive father. I can't tell you that I like to fucking punch holes in my walls. I can't tell you that I like to shoot guns in the middle of the night. I can't tell you that I like to ride in the middle of the night and do some old wild ass shit and come back home just to feel. What was that movie with what's buddy not Mr. Robinson. I keep saying Robinson. What's my guy, man? Kevin Costner, man. But it was Mr. something. But he was a serial killer. He was a professional, but he was a goddamn a serial killer, and he would kill at night, but he would do it in such a motherfucking precise way to where that shit was like his therapist. He would just release, go murk somebody, hide all the fucking evidence, and he had everything to do it precisely until the end, to pretty much where he wanted to get caught. He wanted somebody to know what he was doing, just to be like, hey, because he was still expressing himself, but he was still keeping it within. He did all that shit, murdered all these motherfucking people to a untraceable fucking T. But still in the end felt like, he had to compromise himself to let somebody understand and know his pain. Then at the end, he ended up switching up and got away with it again. And, they should have made a part 2, goddamn. But that's where we are as a people when we hide behind the iron curtain. That's where we are when we hide, our true lessons from our kids as a parent. That's how we are when we hide our true assessments at work when, there was a, the project that you planned didn't go according to, and you can't directly go to the boss and say, hey, it was X, Y, and Z, and I had seen that, and I was trying to tell you that, but they're going to say, fuck you, who are you? You insubordinate son bitch. You know what I had to do to get your position? When you get 20 years of experience, then you could tell me what the fuck to do. Experience. I used to say that a lot in my space, in my relationship, my experience, because I've been married prior before this marriage, and God damn it, I've been married goddamn before. You don't know what you're talking about. Da, 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 da. So it's kind of almost that parallel scenario as far as the scope of the conversation. I had, a team member. I'm the leader of the team lead, project manager, whatever you want to call it. And One of my subordinates came, my spouse said, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on. And, motherfucker, you know what I had to do to get in this position, you know what I had to do to be here, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And you don't give, food for thought. You don't take it as a grain of salt, the information, and assess the information. You automatically go ahead and start, talking negative and destroying people to cover your lacking, because you're trying to hide and you can't say, hey, I didn't understand. Hey, I don't know. Hey, I haven't been exposed to this. Hey, do you have more experience in this situation? Hey, can you share your experiences with me? So since I'm in a leadership position, so I can go ahead and effectively, put the information out and act accordingly. We're damned. We're a damned people. We can't be, I won't say who we want to be. We can't be who we need to be, because everybody goes through some dark shit. But to me, I don't think you really grow in life until you get through, if you're able to get through your dark shit. The wizard at the end of the movie, he professed some truths of who he was, why he was there, and, why he made the game, such a big game, to come and see him in the midst of all his insecurities, in the midst of all his fears, in the midst of all his anxieties. That's the wizard, the biggest lesson in the Wizard of Oz. Like, hey, I'm fucked up out here, man. I just basically, I just wanted some company and see if some people would really come and try to fuck with me. You know what I mean? Then the question that Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Lion and Timmy had, well, motherfucker, who are you? Talk to me then. Since we here, bitch, and we done came all this goddamn way, nigga, talk to me. Tell me who you are. And then once a person really tells you who they are, can you really take that? When you're ingrained and involved, I'll start with the family you're born into. Somebody really tells you and sits you down. Your parent says, man, this is really who I am, and really, bleeds their heart out to you. Would you accept them as your parent? Oh, you did what? Oh, you slept with who to get goddamn $40? Basically, you finesse the motherfucker to come to your crib. You sweet talk them, let them get the pussy, whatever the case may be, to get a couple of dollars so you can do whatever to go ahead and take care of your situation. Same thing go for dudes. Damn, you fuck who? You fucked who for what? Yeah, I knew the bro had money. Yeah, I went ahead and dicked her down. She gave me the whip and bread, bro, and she went ahead and paid for the re-up. Like, could you sit down and tell your kids, that's who you really are, who you really were, you know what I mean? And be honest with them enough to know that in your DNA profile, that before that's programmed in your DNA, the actions that you do are recorded in your body. That's your judgment. That's my 1+1. That's your judgment. You record this shit into your DNA. When we do shit, we're dealing with shit passed on to us, and we're dealing with current life shit that we do to ourselves, and we write to our processor, our programming chip. And when we have kids, that shit passes on. That deceit, that evasiveness, them lies, if you motherfucking caught bodies, if you motherfucking sold drugs, if you motherfucking violated people, if you motherfucking stole from people, if you know what I'm saying, all that shit gets passed down to your kids in some way, shape, form, or another. Now, just like a flower or a fruit, some things, some characteristics, or in the dog world, they say genotypes and phenotypes. Some things are traits, internal traits, and some things are physical characteristics. You know what I'm saying? You might be an ugly person but have a beautiful mind, or be a pretty person and, have some fucked up insides going on. You know what I mean? But this is what we pass down. And we pass down our innermost secrets, but we're afraid to speak to people and share our anguishes and our pains. We can share in our excitements and our joys all day long. We can share our accomplishments and our big ups and I did this. I graduated in the Army and I retired with this rank, and I work with DOD and I do this. I got this degree. Oh yeah, I got this, and I work at this hospital and I do this, that, and that. We can share all that shit because it makes us look good. But when you come to work and got the fucked up face, and like, man, what's going on? Oh. Hey, it's nothing. Hey, go ahead and pass me the cup, because you can't tell nobody, because you can't say nobody you hurt and you fucked up. You know what I mean? You can't tell somebody that you're disturbed. You can't tell somebody I feel angry today. I feel disturbed today. I feel like I can't think today. I feel like I ain't got no focus today. Even though you know your purpose, I feel like I have no purpose today. I feel like I want to die today. You can't say that out loud to too many people, if anybody, because, you know, nowadays some people, they go ahead 1-800, you know what I mean, suicide line your ass and shit. You know what I mean? That's the messiness of the world. And when they say the mental health epidemic is going on, this is why the opioid abuse and shit is going on. You know what I mean? Because people are trying to numb themselves away from the pain. People are trying to dance themselves away from the pain. People are trying to fuck themselves away from the pain. People are trying to drug themselves away from, you know, whatever pains that, you know, you really couldn't really get out. It's like Venom. What's that? You know, Spider-Man, the Venom series and stuff. That's a symbiote that attaches to him, and it says all the raw shit, you know, and he can't really show who he is. Venom comes out, ends up being the hero in the end of the day, saving people with his rawness and his truth and his power and his might. But inside, he was a fucked up person. He's a fucked up entity. You know, that's the world that's been created for us, in the world we fortify and reinforce. Let me hide. Let me be in secret. You know, let me be deceitful. This one's just a little white lie. This one's not going to matter to my boss, my spouse, my partner, my pastor, my mom, my dad, my kids. This little lie, it was just such and such. They don't need to know this information. We all do that shit, but we want to be, you know, free loving and transparent and open with people. In a perfect world, because again, when you're free, when you're naked, when you're free, everyone can see who you are and make their assessment right then and there. Right then and there. You don't have to put the clothes on and have the smell good on and a nice car and a nice job and the kids with their hair did and all that shit to say, hey, I'm, you know, they could just see it right then. And you can quickly make that assessment. Hey, I like you for you, whatever that you is. Again, you're still going to end up in some little club group of people, a genre of people that say, you know, identify and do this more than this group of people. But overall, people get to know you for who you are. You know, I try to challenge people on a daily basis. Oh, yeah, before I forget, man. This weekend, July 9th, we're going to be up at Indian Head, Maryland at the meet and greet. Y'all make sure you guys come and check it out. We're going to be out there with the podcast. We're going to be out with the dogs. We're going to be out with the sun and the shade. Having a good old time for the Bullet community. You make sure you guys come on out. You see the address. It starts early, I'm sure around 10 o'clock p.m. 10 o'clock a.m. Again, there's the flyer right there. You guys check it out. We appreciate your support in advance. Hey guys, this break is brought to you by Get More. This last break is brought to you by MeetTheDoobies.com. Go to www.meetthedoobies.com and check out and stay up on all the freshest gear. They got the fresh rolling papers, all natural, slow hemp burning, rolling trays, rolling papers, you name it. Also, go to our private group on Facebook, Meet the Doobies, and we'll keep you up to speed on all the greatest and latest flavors and crazes out there in this crazy world. Also, as well as Doobie Fest. The first annual Doobie Fest is coming up. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the drill. Doobie Fest, September 24th. There it is, man. We got a meet and greet, a fun show. Me and Jacob Pope, we going to be in the building. Y'all come and check it out, man. If it ain't mess, it ain't me. Yeah, but, you know, that's the method to my madness, and that's the method, you know, that I go through on a daily basis when I try to share with people, when I present myself to people. I'm a little too raw sometimes. But I hate hiding, you know, because I got so much shit bottled up in general. You know, the more you pack away, you know, the more detriment you do to yourself, and the more, you know, again, you put out, you take in what you put out what you take in. And if you taking in that anguish, you're going to put that shit out on somebody else. And normally 10 times out of 10, it's to the closest people towards you. When you try to hide and evade things, and you know, you build up these mental walls and emotional walls, and you kind of end up, you know, blocking people out and using certain kind of defenses to fend them off that may be unsavory to, you know, the other person, the other parties involved in the situation, because we try to hide. I've been a weird kid all my life. so to speak. I've been, the outcast. I've been the guy at the table who took the Cheetos and mixed the mustard and the ketchup and, did all that shit. I was, I was a weird, quirky, animated, not, cool, kind of kid. I was a kid who, was looking for acceptance. In some cases, I'm looking for acceptance still in a little way, but was looking for acceptance with people who knew how to deal with my pain, to be honest with you, because, I couldn't say and articulate at the time what I was going through or what I went through to get those things off. And they build and build and build. And in the course of life, I learned how to get fill out an application and get a job and present myself this way and be do great customer service and, always smile and wave and leave your problems at home and shit. We at so many places other than home. Again, you keep practicing this hiding shit. You keep practicing I can't be me shit. People, and there's a group of people out there that say, everyone doesn't need to know my business. I don't like all my business being out there. And I understand that. You know what I mean? I definitely understand that shit to a motherfucking T. But once it's out there, it's out there. But you see all these people getting extorted and shit, over some simple shit. You see once a person climbs to the certain heights in a political world or a 9-to-5 hierarchy and shit, when somebody trying to come at them or they say the wrong thing to the wrong person, they get exposed. Oh, this is what this motherfucker really like to do. Like, what? I never thought he was like that. What? I never thought she was like that. Two at the same time? God damn. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, it's like, I didn't want... I mean, if you was in the darkness, why can't you be who you is, what you is in the light? You know what I mean? That's the true testament of life, right? Live it to the fullest. Live it up. Embrace me. Don't hide me. So we supposed to be that person 365, 24/7, 366 on a leap year, but we're not trained that way, and we involved ourselves and position ourselves with peoples and involve them in our businesses or our business and our intimate situations, and secrets still remain secrets until they're exposed. I don't like hiding. I don't. And most conversations I've been involved in, I ran straight to it. I like being able to breathe, even though sometimes I feel like I can't breathe, if that makes any sense. I like being able to share, but in most situations, it's not a comfortable or convenient arena to share the type of shit I like to share, because I've been thinking about some fucked up shit. I was talking with my father the other day, and we was having, a deeper conversation than we normally have and shit. And lo and behold, you too? You know what I mean? And as far as the context of that conversation, I'm talking to my father. You know what I mean? So, so evidently I'm saying the surprise was, we having a strange relationship, but, we're just getting back together and shit. But, the level of information that was shared and conveyed, it brought some, it definitely brought us into a space, a bonding space, but it made some shit click in my head and in my heart, the shit that I be dealing with and thinking about. When you come from, in a different background like I do, you have questions. You have, and unfortunately, it's like planting a tree. When you plant a tree, when a person plants a tree, in this lifetime, in this generation, they're really planting a tree for the next generation ahead, because they'll never be able to enjoy the shade of that tree once it fully comes to growth, right? I kind of fucked up that little saying they got, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So when you figure out some shit and say some shit, the benefit of hearing that information or that truth coming out doesn't really get unfolded until, your kids get older and you're able to relay that information to them when they're in that I couldn't have that conversation with my father at 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I had to have that fucking conversation at 42 years old for that shit to really drive fucking home. That shit to really kick me in my ass and be like, oh. And same for him too. He was like, oh, some truths and things that he had been dealing with, whatever. You know what I mean? It made him think about it in a deeper level. You know what I mean? And I'm glad. I'm glad we're both better for that. Those thoughts and sentiments that we shared. I'm glad we're both better for it because it was some raw fucking truths. You know what I mean? And I think the raw truth helps us determine who we are or who we want to be or who we need to be. Fuck who we want to be. I think those truths help us project on who we need to be. You know, everybody, you know, work. And when you go on vacation, let your hair hang down. Let this hang down. Let this. Nah, that's why I don't really fuck with birthdays. And I mean, I do that shit, you know what I mean? Definitely for my family, my old lady and stuff like that. But, you know, every day should be a birthday. Every weekend. You know, if it happened to be a weekend, let's go to fucking South Carolina. Let's go fly out. Shout out to my sis and my brother Sierra and fucking Khalid. You know, they got a situation where they can more often than none, you know, go ahead and get away and do their thing. You know, and basically, you know, they do the same thing as far as their visuals on their birthdays, anniversary. You know, they go out and have a good goddamn time. You know, we should be in a space to where we should be able to do that on a daily basis. Not now I get to let my hair down on this particular. Nah, you should fucking when 5 o'clock is over, you should be able to let your hair hang down, male, female, however you want to use that analogy. You should be able to relax and release. You know, it shouldn't take you a vacation or whatever the fuck that is. A getaway, yeah. Vacation is just like an escape. You know what I'm saying? There's getaways and escapes. I like that. You know what I mean? And that's really when you're trying to really be in that space. But, you know, it shouldn't be, you know, where you have to get where you can finally let your hair down. We work hard, we play hard. You know, we'll go out to wherever we go out to eat or whatever on a weekday. It ain't got to be no fucking holiday or nothing. You know what I mean? I could die today. I could die tomorrow. I want to be able to enjoy this shit right fucking now. I don't want to goddamn plan 8 months out. I don't want to get plan 10 months out to go have a nice dinner with my old lady and goddamn whoop-de-whoop, blah, 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 blah. If I can do that shit tomorrow and the shot's clear, guess what? I'm going to do it. I don't want to have to wait 20 years to go, you know, 40 years to buy such and such car or house. If the shot's clear and I got it right then, I'm going to go get it. Why? Because I'm going to have to struggle to pay for the shit anyway. I'm going to have to struggle and deal with the responsibility of the property taxes. I'm going to have to struggle and deal with the fucking high-ass insurance rate. I'm going to have to struggle and deal with the tire repairs, the brake repairs, and everything that come with dealing with whatever vehicle that I want. So why I got to wait till later? Why I got to hide that I want to wait till I want it right now. I want to enjoy everything and anything right now. But we live in a world to where we got to hide that and say, no, there's a proper time and proper place for everything. What is the proper time and proper place when you die? You ain't got shit to hide then. You dead. You ain't got shit to understand or learn. You're dead. So I'm a kind of, you know, yeah, that's part of my truth. I'm a right now kind of guy. I don't want to wait and plan out 10, 20 years for it. The only thing I'm willing to plan out while I still got breath every day is to leave some shit behind for my kids. Other than that, I want my shit now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to wait to, you know, if I want to go to Ruth Chris and goddamn I want to go right the fuck now. I don't want to wait for no birthday, no repast at a funeral. I don't want to have to wait for an anniversary. I want to go right the fuck now. If I want to goddamn hang upside down, butt ball ass nigga from a fucking helicopter, I want to do that right now. They got places you can go ahead and pay $200 for the flight. You can go bungee jump. I'm sure if you tip the goddamn pilot, you can get out that bitch butt ball ass naked and hang upside down right now. I don't want to wait till I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, 80 years old, retired, ain't got shit left going on. Nobody give a fuck about it. Oh, I'm living life now. Nah, you about to die. You know, so a lot of different things that be going on in my head and my anxieties because life is too short. You know what I'm saying? When you deal with things for a prolonged period of time and can't find a way to really deal with it, you know, you get to bottling things up and you get to hiding more and performing and smiling. It's messy, Gemma. Hey, baby, if it ain't messy, it ain't me. Oh, man, we love you. Shit fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't sweet out here. And I'm not afraid to say it. I know your shit ain't sweet. I know your shit ain't all together. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to deal with it. I've been beaten, I've been broken, and I done beat upon and broken other people in my lifetime. And then I hide because I hide of hurt and I hide of pain, I hide of deceit. We got to do better. Everybody is the wizard. The Wizard of Oz is everybody is the fucking wizard. Everybody is the man behind the curtain hiding. Are you hiding for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? You know, we got to make choices at the end of the day. When we die, what was our story? Everybody said in the Bible says, you know, make sure you die with a good name. What's a good name? Oh, I had a nice house and 2 cars, everything paid off. I had all my kids graduated college, magna cum laude. They all have it. Is that the good name you left behind? Ask Jeffrey Epstein, goddamn fucking the Weinstein, the Epsteins, the R. Kellys. Kids, college, fucking sky's the limit. Everyone got black cars and whoop-de-whoop, blah, blah, blah. But you peek behind that goddamn iron curtain and you see they got some shit going on. They got some shit going on. They got some shit going on. We all got some shit, some messy ass shit going on. And at the end of the day, we got to remember one thing, most importantly, if it ain't messy,